Smart automation, better business. Learn how to optimize your business with Solved.
Hey there, Jared here. In this video, I'll show you how to enhance your SDR agent by adding a reference sheet. This lets the agent not only book meetings, but also reference key info about your products or process while doing it. Let's jump into Salesforce, where we will walk through the setup. On the left-hand side here, this simple reference sheet that I generated with some made-up products and some information about them. And so, typical reference sheet that you might give to your SDR agent, and you can give this to the SDR agent. And I will show you today how you can update the SDR agent so that it can know when someone's asking about a question for one of these products, look in this reference sheet, grab the answer to the product using Gen AI, and then respond. So let's jump over to this sandbox where I'm going to open it here and make sure that before this, you've already set up the SDR agent and in its default form and gone through and activated all of these things. And you can go to the agent builder to view the SDR agent. All right. And I have already added a data library, but you will need to do that. And if you don't see one and you have already added one, you'll just need to refresh. Sometimes that seems to happen. But if you refresh and go back to the data tab, you'll see that it's all there. But you will add a new data library. You can name it something like SDR agent library. And then when you add a file, you're going to add that PDF for the reference sheet. So this reference sheet, I just added it as a PDF to this data library. Note that sometimes you'll need to wait a little bit for it to actually be ready to use. It'll say that your data library is ready to use, but sometimes it takes a while. So that is one thing to call out. All right. And so once you updated the data library to have that reference sheet, you might try asking in the conversation preview and answer a question about one of those products, and you will see that it does not work. And so there is some more things that you need to do in order to have the agent able to reference that file. So what you're going to need to do is add an action. But before we add an action to the respond to prospect topic, we want to make a prompt. And so you're going to go to the prompt builder and setup. And I've already made a prompt, but I'll walk you through the process of doing that, where you'll click new prompt template. You'll name it whatever you want. Just going to put test for now. You can add a description if you would like. Oh, and don't forget to change the prompt template type to flex. That's what we would want to use here in this situation where we want it to be able to reference the data sheet and search for an answer and then respond in plain text. So that's the type of prompt template that you'll use. And then you'll want to define sources. In this case, or this scenario, where I want it to be able to answer product questions, I'm going to add two sources, one for the name of the product and one for the question. And both of those are going to be free text. All right, you can click next. And that's going to shoot you into the prompt builder where you can type out a prompt. And so I'll show you the one that first I'll show you how you can reference the data template the data library that you just made. So once it's in there, you will come here to the prompt builder. And for my example, I'm going to say, use the document to answer the product question about the product. So that's really what I want it to be able to do. But what I'm going to do to be able to have it reference those is update a few things in here to be dynamic. So instead of saying the document, I'm going to delete that and add a resource. And the resource I want to add is the data library file. So I'm going to come here and look up Einstein and then rag file UDMO. And I want to grab the SDR agent library. So that's going to pull that in. For the search text, what I want it to search is the product name. So I'm going to go to free text and do the product name. All right. And then the next step would be to answer the product question of the product. I want the product question to be dynamic. So I'm going to replace the product question with free text product question. And about the product, I'm going to make the product dynamic by adding in the free text product name. So when this prompt is called, it's going to know to reference that library, and it's going to pull in from the action the correct product question and the product name. And once that's done, you can save it. And come here to test inputs, where you can add the product name and a question to test it out. So I'll just say, how much is it? And it should be able to look at this, look up Volt tab, and it'll probably find this Volt tab X9 product and see that the retail price is $7.49. So let's test it out. Once you have those in, you can click preview. And there it's able to search through the document and find the Volt tab product and see that it is $7.49. So that's working great. You then want to activate it so that you can reference it in the action that we're about to make. But I'm not going to activate this one since I already have another version. Well, what I'll actually do for this demo is I'll just create a new action so I can walk you through that. So I will click activate. And now I want to come to the actions. So I'm going to make a new tab and come here and set up to asset. And to go to the Agentforce assets, where you're going to see all your topics and actions. If I come to actions, I want to click a new agent action. And this new agent action, I want to click prompt template. And then this is where I'll select the prompt that I just made. If you don't see it in this list, that probably means that you did not activate it. So go activate it. And I do see it in this list since it's active. And then I'll click next. You can give some instructions like use this action to answer product questions. Loading text, you can say getting product info or something like that, or you can just not show it. And then it's going to show the two inputs that you have for the product name and the product question, and you can add in some instructions. So I'm going to say for the product name, this is the name of the product. And then for the product question, yes, please the question about the product. All right. And then we'll want to show the output response in the conversation. And so I'll click finish. All right. So we've now made a prompt, or we've now added the reference sheet to the agent. We have created a prompt to get information from that and answer the question about the product. We've then made the action to be able to kind of link them together. And then the next step would be to go into the agent and add that asset to the respond to prospect topic. Once added and your agent is active, then you should be able to test it out by in the conversation preview, asking a question about a product and seeing a response. I would demo that, but I am in a sandbox environment and there is a non-issue at the current moment that makes the retriever not work. So it would throw an error, but you should be able to ask a question about a product here and get an answer. So that is real quickly how you create a prompt, an action, and add that action to your SDR agent so that it can answer basic questions from a reference sheet or any information that you can give it inside of a PDF in the agent's data library. If you have any other questions, please drop those in the comments and we'd be more than happy to help out. And check out our other videos on Revenue Cloud, Agentforce, and how to automate your business. Thanks.
Thank you so much for watching. We can't wait to help you automate your business. Please like, comment, or subscribe for more.